What do I need to include in my training and assessment strategy document?
One of the important documents is training and assessment strategy. That's called TAS as well. Second part is I also need to review each and every unit and identify what resources required. The third part is other thing we look at it as a volume of learning and amount of training information.
What do I need to include in my training and assessment strategy document?
Okay, one of the important documents is training and assessment strategy. That's called TAS as well. That's why it says that training and assessment strategy is the roadmap for your course, because it tells all the information that how this course going to be trained and assessed, including what are the electives, what are the hours allocated to, is there any placement, what are the resources required, hours thing, sequencing of the unit. So it gives a clear guidance how this is going to be done. So we need to make it right. So what I would like to see, or if I create a TAS or review the TAS, first of all, we just making sure that the training package requirement from training.edu, that particular course, and reviewing them that the elective that they select is correct or not, aligned with the training package requirement. Is there any specific entry requirement for that course? So for example, if you see in a diploma of early childhood, that the student must complete the certificate 3 in early childhood. So that actually helped me to form in my TAS. Plus I also need to check, is there any prerequisite for the unit? So because I need to make sure that this particular unit is delivered before I deliver the main unit. So those are the information we get it from training.edu under the training package. And that give me a guidance that, okay, I need to include all this information in TAS. Then the second part is I also need to review each and every unit and identify what resources required. So if there are any simulation resources, or if there's going to be in a workplace, what are the resources required to do this? So for example, if there is a Cert 3 in commercial cookery, I think SIT HCC 026 or 36 unit. Don't quote me on the code. But that particular unit has the requirement that every student need to have a 1.5 meter bench. So then in my resource register, I need to include that. And if I'm training for 15 students, that practical, so I should have those 15 benches there. So that information we get it from it. Then also work placement. So if there is a 100-hour work placement, 150, 200, how that workplace going to happen, who is responsible, and all those information needs to be there. The third part is other thing we look at it as a volume of learning and amount of training information. And that need to be clearly articulate what is amount of training and what is volume of learning. So amount of training, in a simple word, if I say that the hours that the RTO or TAS or course that using it for, they have access of the teacher or access of at the time of trainer or a supervised learning. Those are and that's for the training. That's called amount of training. So itself its word says amount of training. So the amount provided for the training will go toward that. And what thing included, that could be a face-to-face session with your trainer, there is an online session with the trainer, if there any practical training happening as well, if you're doing any training for work placement, all those include amount of training. And the volume of learning include that, all the include amount of training plus assessment, plus any self-study that you monitor. So that needs to be very clear in the training and assessment strategy. If that is not clear, that will also lead to non-compliance. So those are the few important things that I would look at it. And the other part is that the information provided in TAS is actually aligned with all the other places. For example, your marketing material, the student handbook, and the policy, and so on and on.
You have pretty much covered the entire training and assessment strategy document in a nutshell.
Make your TAS your strongest tool for compliance and learner success.